Saw the light fading from his eyes, and on the wind I heard him sigh. As the sun covers my fallen brother, I will say this last goodbye. Oh, the tankards away.
I would tell them to, I would still tell them to join the Army, if they want to, or any branch of service, because, it's a good thing to, as far as education and everything, it's entirely different than back in Vietnam. Most people that join now have to have at least a high school education. And back then, they'd take you right out of grammar school, if you weren't smart enough, and you were old enough, they would take you, you know what I mean? So, because there was a lot of kids that, that quit in school, and, I was one of them. I quit school, at 17, I think. I think I'd tell them, just make it as good as you can, make sure you get a good education, and, you can, there's all different jobs you could get that you can come back to civilian life and, and you'll have a job anyway.
Well, I am jaded in that. I think everyone should go into the military for at least 2 years, because it's an eye-opening experience, and it gives yourself experiencing it an education that, gee, there's a big world out there, and there's people out there that don't think like I do, but we're all working together. And I think it would be very good for everybody to go in for 2 years, or if not, maybe the Peace Corps or something. But you can't go out of high school and have your mindset, is this the way it is? Because it isn't that way. So I'm just jaded on, I think that the service is good for people. It's an eye-opener.
The military definitely changes you. And I think most of the time it changes you to become a better person. So I would tell anybody that wants to go into the military to go in. Just try to stay off of, just try to stay out of combat situations. Be a clerk, typist, make movies. Try to stay in the rear. It's only like 1 or 2% that actually do all the fighting. So you have all this other support group, so be part of that support group instead of being the frontline person.
Anybody that comes into this building or goes to school, I'm not sure how it is on having a diploma now, you can go into the service, you could be whatever you want to be. They got the schooling, they got the education, they got everything is there. So there's no being I don't have this or I don't have that, because the military will train you for it.
Well, it's like when we're down at the other high schools going around, I tell the kids, listen, if you want to join a service, fine. But don't go in as an infantryman. Go in as learn how to be an electrician, a plumber, a carpenter, a mechanic, anything like that. Fine. You get out of the service, you've got a trade. And the same thing goes for for girls as well as boys. Because when you go into the infantry, you know that you're going to be there, you're going to be one of the guys doing the fighting. And now those guys are shooting at you with machine guns, you're shooting at them with machine guns. And it's only a matter of time before something happens. Like I got a Purple Heart. I got hit in the head. And a lot of people say that's probably why I'm like I am. But if it's like I said when that shrapnel's flying around. If you were standing here and nothing happened, fine. But if you were 6 inches this way, you'd be dead. It just wasn't. We used to had a saying in Vietnam: "It don't mean nothing." But I got hit with a piece of shrapnel, and it wasn't bad. But it hit me, and the blood was coming down and so on. But they didn't even have to sew it; they just put a frickin' Band-Aid on it, But it's a good thing if you want to learn how to, computers or stuff like this here, and it's not going to cost you anything,
Absolutely. The opportunity that kids have today to get in the military, if you want to go infantry, do it. But if you've got half a brain, you can get your education paid for when you get out. You can get job placement when you get out. There's so many, and Worcester Technical is the perfect example because you offer so many different curriculums. You could put that to work in the service, and it can work so well for kids. I know kids that have done this already that we talked 10 years ago, and job placement, and it's not all guns and all that. If that's what you want to do, you join the infantry and you get yourself into situations where you can travel in combat situations. But otherwise, you can get a hell of an education in the service. Not just the Army. Marines are always ragging on, but Air Force, Navy.
Military's good, but you don't go in the infantry. That's the first thing you don't do. You get a job. You can be radio, telephone. You can do mechanic. There's all kinds of jobs in the military. You're not just going in the infantry.
So don't do what you did. Don't go into the infantry.
Yeah, no, I didn't go because I was drafted. That's what they sent us bums. We were 3-decade kids. That's what they send you. Go ahead.
Is there anything you regret, or overall do you feel like you did the right thing?
No, I don't regret anything, no. I think, what I did, and I'm proud of what I did, and I'm an American, so that's what I do. My father went, like Kennedy said, that's not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country.
I would recommend it to anybody coming out of school, especially nowadays, because it's not as tough as it was before. I mean, they're still going to make you a soldier or a naval veteran or whatever, but there's so many opportunities for free education in the military. And I'm going to use 2 of my brother-in-law's kids as an example. Both in the Navy. One of them, and I call him a mechanic on a nuclear submarine. He used to deal with the electronics. He did 5 years in the Navy. He came out of the Navy and he walked into a 5-digit, $140,000 a year job with Florida Light and Power. Just because of the education he got. The other one had just got out after 9 years, and he was an encryptor. And he walked into a job of a subsidiary of Raytheon. And besides the fat paycheck, they said, you pick your country, pick your state, tell us where you want to live, and we'll pay for the whole thing. So the bottom line is, you can get a good education in the military, whether you want to be a doctor, whether you want to be a mechanic. It's all there. It's free. Yeah. Is there a war? Yeah. Is there a chance you're going to go to war? Could be. But you have to understand there's more veterans in supporting units than there actually are on the front lines.
It anchors away, my friend. Many places we have been, many sorrows we have seen, always there to lend a helping hand. I bid you farewell, my friend. Oh, it anchors away. It anchors away. Anchors away, my friend. As we go on our separate ways, there are many things we didn't get to say. All of this I will never forget. The friendship we shared many a